Back in 1985, a young White House lawyer by the name of John Roberts issued a prescient warning. In a memo on the Reagan-era Grace Commission, which sought to reduce waste in government spending, Roberts cautioned against allowing private sector CEOs to oversee the very agencies that regulate their businesses, calling it a disaster due to inherent conflicts of interests. Decades later, the young lawyer now sits at the top of the Supreme Court, overseeing a nation confronted with an unprecedented consolidation of wealth and power. And in a move that critics describe as the ultimate merger of the two, President-elect Donald Trump this week appointed the tech billionaires Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to co-chair the so-called Department of Government Efficiency. Now, I know that it has the word department in its title, but it's not an actual government agency. Only Congress has the authority to create those. Instead, it's more of a pet project of sorts for two billionaires who seem to get a kick out of trolling our democratic institutions. So what is the Department of Government Efficiency? Well, Trump tells us that it will serve as an outside advisory commission to his administration, one that will drive large-scale structural reform. Its billionaire co-chairs say they want to slash government regulations and spending while downsizing the federal workforce. Musk has pledged to cut $2 trillion from the federal budget, though he's offered very few specifics beyond that. And just for some context, the total amount of discretionary spending in the federal budget is about $1.7 trillion. Discretionary spending does not include mandatory spending, which covers Social Security, Medicare, and other programs. Which means Musk's proposed cuts would have to extend beyond discretionary spending, potentially targeting critical programs. Critics argue...
Now, didn't you guys think when the election ended that all the fear and shit would end? I mean, you know, if these stations like MSNBC and CNN want to spend their time protecting the public, you know, with this bullshit that this guy is doing, it's just a bunch of propaganda. It's no different than what any other president ever has done. Solicit advisors. And usually they get them from the corporate world. That shit happens all the time. It's not new. They don't usually publicize it. They don't usually kind of roll it out like Trump trying to do, make this shit look like a department. No, they're advisors. Anything and any decisions made as a result of these two will be scrutinized as Trump decisions and not their decisions. Elon Musk has a mandate, and it's his own mandate. He was not elected president of the United States. Donald Trump was, and he is an advisor. Advisors have a potential to influence a president in a lot of ways. I get it, but if y'all don't like Elon Musk, at least you know who's advising him. When he start doing some shit that we can't understand, or like he always do, at least you can attribute some of it to Elon Musk. You know where to pin the blame. Do you know who was advising Biden? Do you know what the level of mental decline that he was in? Are we aware of who his advisors were? Where was the country going? Did they just throw that shit on cruise control and ride it out until they thought Kamala would win? I mean, I admire the fact that we know the hell we dealing with here. Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. Very, very, very controversial figures, both of them. A lot of people don't like Elon Musk. I don't like or dislike him. I want to see what's about to happen. I want to see who they're about to piss off. This sounds like all the threats that Kamala and what I'm hearing after the fact now about the Project 2025. See, they're going to change it. You can call anything democratic, but it doesn't mean it's democratic. If this, what he's doing is so out of what any other president has ever done except giving it a name. He named it. And it's an unofficial name because it wasn't enacted by Congress. And the guy knows this, and he's telling you that early on, and then he goes into the scare tactics. I just don't want people to be terrified over this bullshit. Wait and see. See who Trump and them piss off. Because we at the bottom, we don't have no control over what any of them do. All we do is give them our vote and then pray. This man made a lot of promises and talked a lot of big ass talk on his campaign. and Trump's turn to deliver is coming, and he's gonna make sweeping change, make things look different. And what if? And I think the democracy could be changed as we know it and never go back. What if people actually liked this shit? What if they actually felt like, damn? I mean, he talked too fucking much, but his the way he, boldly going where none of these other motherfuckers have ever gone before is kind of a benefit to our lives. What if that happened? Maybe that's what the Democrats are so goddamn scared of. Because what they should be spending their time on is strengthening their party. Getting more in touch with what people really want and trying to figure out a way to get it to them. And government subsidies isn't the way. That's not what people want. We know where that goes. That ain't going to work.
That such steep cuts would devastate working and middle-class Americans while leaving the wealthy untouched. In fact, in late October, Musk seemed to acknowledge exactly that, stating that his proposed spending cuts could cause economic hardship for Americans. Quote, "We have to reduce spending to live within our means, and that necessarily involves some temporary hardship, but it will ensure long-term prosperity," end quote. Which is super easy.
It is easy for someone who's as rich as Elon Musk to say, but it's also very sensible. He is a billionaire. We're not. So we all need to probably take advice as far as tightening our belts and getting ready for a little bit of a rough time, as long as we know we're going to steer through it and on the other side come out better and without all this debt and without all these issues financially that this country is under. If that is where it's going, people might go, wow, we tightened up a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. We survived it. Instead of him scaring, oh no, we can't have any discomfort no matter how poor we are. We'll just subsidize you and make you feel like you're not as poor as you really are. And then if you vote somebody else in office, you'll really feel how poor you are. I mean, what kind of shit is that? I just don't think that we're going to hate the Republicans as much as we think we are. I just think they don't want us to find out. Man, they lost the election, so we're going to find out. So the best thing they could do now is begin to strengthen their team. They lost because all they had to talk about was the other team. You got to talk about yourself. You got to have some substance.
For a billionaire to say temporary hardship. But what's the deadline for this major overhaul of the entire government? Trump tells us that all of this will be completed no later than July 4th, 2026, which is roughly a year and a half from now. Musk, on the other hand, promises to get it done much faster.
Well, Musk ain't the goddamn president. Trump is. If Trump said, that's a fucking date, though, you guys. That's a date where some shit is going to happen that we're going to be like seeing change of some sort. That shit's exciting. To me, this country don't ever do nothing but play fucking ping pong with us. The Democrats and the Republicans, the Democrats and the Republicans. And the Democrats and the Republicans had the Republicans' big brother show up and push him out the way and take the paddle, and now he's playing. And it's exciting to me. I want to see what in the hell is going to happen. I am not afraid. I want our children to have better than we had. All our children. And they should be able to. This is a very, very, very rich country. We have went from a slave nation where people were held in bondage to this country is rich enough now for everybody to really be okay. But because of the racism and the classism and the sexism and the billionaires and people who make a lot of money, and they just don't want to see other people. I guess it's a don't want to see other people on their level, or don't want to see other people doing well. And I think the people on the ground are a little different than that. We get so emotional and so caught up by propaganda and brainwashing that we do get emotional, and we do go out there and carry out dumb, stupid acts based on how they worked our heads and driven us and whipped us into a frenzy. But we just need to start thinking differently and understand that we need to do what works for us. And all that energy and all those protests that we do could be on our own behalf. And let them fight it out right now over this power struggle that's going on. Because if the Democrats think they're going to get back in the game by trying to manipulate us into believing that the democracy is being taken away, then they got another thing coming. Because he won the election in a solid enough fashion that we knew who won when we went to bed. But he didn't win the election so big that it was more like 70-30 or 80-20 or no shit like that. This country is damn near evenly split on so much shit that anybody who come in there with some crazy stuff is putting their own life in peril. I wouldn't try it. Everybody's pretty much cool with the way this country is running, and Donald Trump is willing to come in and make major changes within the system that has been created. Because he did it the last time with the Supreme Court, we're going to see him do it again. And people are not going to like this shit because it's coming from a person they don't like. And we need to get beyond that. We need to find out a way to find the good, if there is any, in some of the shit that this man we don't like is going to do. We're going to see.
The Commission's position outside the formal government structure, which includes over 400 actual departments, raises serious questions about how it's going to achieve its goals. If Musk's management of the social media platform X is any indication, the rush to restructure our government institutions should deeply worry you. Under Musk's leadership, X
should deeply worry you. I'm just trying to point out the words this man is choosing to use. He got a huge ass vocabulary and he chooses to use shit like that. It's terrible, and that is a huge network, but their shit is plummeting. I hope a lot of people watch this network, differently. I don't care if you watch it or not, or ratings or none of that shit. But just to watch it from a more informed place. You hear that shit?
X has lost 80% of its value, according to an October estimate from the firm Fidelity. Beyond that, there are troubling questions with allowing billionaires unbridled access to our government institutions.
Like they've always had. It's just which billionaires. You see, that's what he needs to say. They've always had unbridled access to our goddamn government. The government. Where do you think the government in this country was built on? People with the money. That's how it go. And he know it. But unbridled access, nah. They've always had it. And now you picking and choosing, and that's where I got a problem. I don't like Elon Musk either, of what I know of him. And Ramaswamy, I think he's a very intelligent person, but he kind of weird, but I don't know. He wouldn't have been my picks, but I didn't get voted in as president either. So, if we go that route, like the Democrats said, we want to unite. We don't want to divide the country. Well, here's your chance. Show images of you uniting the country and maybe pull it out in 2028 and see if it works.
Musk, the world's richest man, is the head of companies like SpaceX and Starlink, which hold billions of dollars in federal contracts. SpaceX alone has received over $15 billion in government contracts, including classified Pentagon deals. So Musk's close ties to Trump are clearly well documented. He's often described by insiders as wanting to be seen as Trump's co-president. His $200 million super PAC played a key role in helping Trump get reelected. His social media platform, X, significantly amplified Trump's political messaging. But with the creation of the Department of Government Efficiency, Musk's influence is being formalized, rewarded even, with a pseudo-government title. Consumer advocacy groups like...
Here it is, a pseudo-government title. He knows bullshit. He's an advisor. Elon Musk is an advisor to Trump, like Jared Kushner was. He just didn't give Jared Kushner a department name or some shit. He was some kind of overseas fucking whatever. He's his goddamn son-in-law. But that's what we're dealing with here is them trying to take Elon Musk and scare us with them. I don't care who Elon Musk is. I want to know what Elon Musk's plans are for the country. Maybe he knows some shit we don't. He is a billionaire and we ain't. Maybe he is really touching something they don't want him to touch. And whenever people be like, no, don't go in the closet, open that shit up. Open the door. We want to know.
Public Citizen have labeled the appointment, quote, the ultimate corporate corruption. In a report published last month, the same group found that, quote, at least 3 of Musk's businesses are currently under scrutiny for alleged misconduct by at least 9 federal agencies, end quote. Musk will now oversee the overhaul of the very same agencies that are currently tasked with investigating his.
Elon Musk is working closely with Donald Trump. The current administration is Democratic, and they don't like Elon Musk. So everything that this man is saying is being investigated and done under the current administration, which doesn't like Elon Musk. Is that what we're getting to? Because as soon as Donald Trump moves into the White House, all these investigations are going to go away. So that's what I'm saying. What is really going on? Political persecution, and then Trump comes in and you guys are saying, oh no, he's going to aim the Justice Department. What, like y'all do? Like the Democrats do? The Republicans do? That's what they do. That's what they do. And he just need to probably shut up, but I really appreciate that he got a big mouth because he says shit that everybody else been doing for years. He just say, and they be like, whoa, he's not supposed to say the quiet part out loud. He keep doing it. And I appreciate it. It's better than anybody, even though I don't like him. But he's telling you which goddamn direction he's going in. I mean, it's better than not knowing. I don't like the mystery of we voted in Joe Biden. He's losing his mind and we still supposed to support that. I don't like that.
Companies. And this is not the first time Trump has appointed billionaires to his administration. His first cabinet included billionaires like Wilbur Ross, Rex Tillerson, Betsy DeVos, and all of them faced criticism for prioritizing private interests over the public good. But with Musk, critics say there's a major difference. Unlike Tillerson, who divested from ExxonMobil once he became the Secretary of State, Musk has shown no intentions of stepping back from his businesses. There don't appear.
Rex Tillerson had a government-appointed position. Elon Musk is an advisor. If everybody who advised the president had to divest from their companies, they wouldn't be no damn CEOs, because they all be talking to presidents and telling them what they think about their particular industry, which they are subject matter experts on. And this man is sitting here talking to us like we children. Come on, y'all. You got to think past what he's saying and understand where he's trying to get us to go. And it's not going to work. If the Democrats want if the Democrats want to win, they haven't even lost the black vote. The Democrats haven't lost the black vote in this election. They did not lose the black vote. They didn't lose the black vote. They got 75% of the men and 92% of the women. They did not lose the black vote. Anybody would be proud of that. And she didn't have to spend $1 billion to get that. But this is sick what this guy is doing, you guys, and it ain't right, and we can't go for it.
To be any safeguards at all against potential conflicts of interest this time around. Instead, Musk will retain control over Tesla and SpaceX, all while overseeing policies that could benefit his companies.
No, he's going to be an advisor. Him and Ramaswamy are going to root out some shit, point out some shit, give their opinions, and turn them over to Trump. Me personally, I don't think Trump and Elon Musk are going to work out unless Elon Musk back down. Donald Trump isn't as well versed on some of the shit that Elon Musk is going to come at him with. And if he don't really trust Elon Musk and he shut him down, they're going to have some clashes, and it might end up in Trump just having one of them moments and saying, you're fired. A little flashback from The Apprentice. Well, I don't know, but I don't see this being no harmonious relationship. But I do like that Trump is known for rotating people in and out. You piss him off, you say something you don't agree with. Dr. Fauci was all world-renowned, now he in shame. At first, everybody was like, Trump need to go. He's one of the most widely reasoned. Then when Trump turned on him, then he started being looked at different, and factual shit has come out, and Dr. Fauci ain't all we thought he was, you know? I mean, and he's had information inside that he wasn't sharing with us. I just like the direction Trump tries to go in as far as bragging, because it makes him speak a lot about a lot of shit. And in order to maintain support and brag at the same time, you got to do some of that shit. And It seemed like he's trying to move in that direction. And if nothing else, you can appreciate that bullshit. But people don't like the man. But let's see what his policies do. Let's give him a shot, because we have no other chance. Unless you're going to move out the United States, we got to sit here and ride this out like we do after every election. That's what we do. We win, we lose, we throw our votes away, and then here we are. I like to see the election though when all the registered voters, not like all of them, but 95% of the registered voters in the United States of America voted. Can you imagine what that would be like? Would that be, they couldn't stand it. That would be horrible for them, because an independent would not just have like 0.5% of the vote. It would be a whole different story. It would be good to see though that our country cared. Everybody talks about the democracy, how much they love it. Now, we love our country. We love our country. And out there registering people left and right. That's how much they love their country. They ain't even registered to vote in this shit. Kind of bad. I wish we had a little more spirit about things.
My next guest, Thom Hartmann, argues that how we got to this point, how our institutions made space for this to happen, is the culmination of decades of legal decisions that have normalized the role of money in politics, starting with the Supreme Court's 1976 Buckley versus Valeo decision.
And the president in 1976 was Jimmy Carter. We all know this. But what I need to tell you is, they don't want to accept the blame that the Democrats have been just as guilty as the Republicans with everything he's saying, if in the context he's putting it in. You can't pull it back and jump it. No, it's been so consistent, and he sees it being interrupted, and it bothers him. It bothers them all. It's about to be interrupted. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's about to be interrupted.
Which equated spending money with free speech, a decision that opened the floodgates for big money to dominate elections. 2 years later, the same court in Boston v. Belgotti expanded those rights to corporations. Dissenting judges warned that unregulated corporate power would erode the foundations of our democracy. Justice Byron White warned that corporate power would dominate not only our economy, but the very heart of our democracy. Nearly 5 decades after those decisions opened the door to buying influence, Musk's appointment risks entrenching corporate interests within the very structure of our federal government.
Once again, Elon Musk has been appointed as an advisor. So no one else in our government has to deal with him except Donald Trump. He's an executive advisor, and he knows it. And he keeps trying to morph it from, and I just hate that so much when he starts off with the fact and then morphs it into this guy is like running the country. He isn't. He's an advisor. No president knows every goddamn thing. None of them. They pretend to. And a lot of times, if you don't know who the advisors are, you think that shit came out of them. It didn't. It came out of some head of some corporation in this country over the industry that they're goddamn concerned about.
The 2010 ruling in Citizens United versus FEC only exacerbated these vulnerabilities, allowing corporations to pour unlimited funds into political campaigns, solidifying their grip on power. And
you think Kamala Harris got $1 billion from the people, or she got $1 billion from the corporations? Where do you think the most of that money came from? I rest my case.
Opinion was written by none other than the once bright-eyed, bushy-tailed John Roberts, prompting critics to label it the Roberts Court war on democracy. The top 1% in this country are no longer just influencing policy from behind the scenes. They are seizing control of the actual levers of power in government, a logical and perhaps inevitable consequence of allowing money to dominate our politics. This dramatic shift mirrors the dynamics of autocracies, where billionaires often blur the line between public office and private interests.
He's talking about what's been happening in this country for the last 50 or 60 years and trying to blame it on Trump, who's been president for 4 years and now about to take over with way more direction and way more of a plan this time than he had before. And, I mean, you can't be mad at him. You get better at everything. Shit. If you ever had a job after 3-4 years of it, you get a whole lot better than you were when you went in. And I think this time Trump got a vision. And I don't think he has a plan. He has family, he has friends, he has associates in this country. I don't think he has a plan to turn our country very much different, or to the point where we can't tolerate it from what it is now. Our country is not where it needs to be. There's way too much power coming out of corporations. Let's see what happens. Why would people who are corporate types be afraid? If Donald Trump is giving you what you've always been doing, because you don't want to admit it, something about to change, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. I know it's going to be good.
2023 study found that billionaires are far more likely to hold office in autocracies than in democracies, a trend that some fear could erode America's democratic foundations.
Most of our senators are millionaires. He said billionaires, though, so I guess a millionaire wouldn't take over the country, but a billionaire would. I don't know. I don't know what he meant by that. But I'm really tired of MSNBC and the brainwashing. And a lot of black people watch MSNBC. A whole lot of black people do. And it's like not credible enough for us to be getting for it to be our primary source of news and information as far as politics go. It is not credible enough. No way. Not even close.
Back in 1816, President Thomas Jefferson foresaw these dangers and issued a stark warning about the risks of concentrated wealth. Quote, those seeking profits were they given total freedom would not be the ones to trust to keep government pure and our rights secure. Indeed, it has always been those seeking wealth who were the source of corruption in government, end quote.
Now, where are we going with this? Do you guys think that Joe Biden, being a politician since 1973, 72, early 70s, he's like 27, 28 years old when he was first elected. He's a millionaire now. He ain't no rich man because of his politics and his salary from politics. He's a rich man because investments he's made outside of politics. So how does that happen? Where a job that doesn't pay that kind of money and you become it's just what it is. He ain't mad at Biden. Don't be mad at Trump. Trump came from the business world. Do you expect him to get into the politics and go embrace politicians? He don't trust them. He don't like them and they don't like him. Genuinely. So he's rolling with the folks he trusts. That's just how it is. You can't make him relinquish his feelings and relinquish his core and go into American politics for real. That might not be the best thing he could do.
As Trump's oligarchy begins to take shape, Jefferson speaks to us from his grave. A sobering warning of what will happen when we entrust the keys of democracy to those who...
Yeah, but you can't pick some things that Jefferson said and then somebody be screaming from the grave probably some orders for his slaves too. Undig me, get me out of here. And they be over here. You know, you can't just pick some of the things Jefferson said. This country ain't always been right in the beginning, and the people who say some real brilliant shit that we repeat all the time in speeches and documents said some other shit that y'all don't want to repeat again. So it ain't always been a bunch of roses and peaches and cherries on the top. But I get it. I see why Trump don't fuck with the politicians in this country. I totally see it.
Profit from its dismantling.
And he really does believe that Donald Trump's just in it to win it for the money, and no other politician has been. No other politician. Just think about it. Kamala Harris, a government employee. Bill Clinton, government employee, career politicians. These people become millionaires. How are they becoming millionaires? Not no $2-3 million. No. Millionaires. A lot of money. Out there rolling with them. Man, that don't make no sense. And this man is trying to turn us against Donald Trump because he roll on a different level. Billionaires. The bosses are the millionaires. So yeah, go to the boss. Don't deal with no millionaires if you can deal with billionaires. That's how I feel about it. And as soon as they start achieving trillionairehood, go deal with them and don't be messing with the billionaires no more. We don't need the brainwashing from many of these networks. And I'm saying that word again and again because I want you guys to realize that when you're watching this shit. How they start off is with usually a factual comment, and then they take that shit wherever, and they hope you go with them, and I hope that you don't. We need better voting in this country. We need more informed voting, and we need to start sending out them damn friend requests to all them people y'all unfriended for voting for Jill Stein and Donald Trump, and some of you unfriended people for voting for Kamala. But you gotta separate your politics from your employment and your politics from your social lives, because we got Thanksgiving coming up, and hopefully we can get together with folks that we haven't talked to or seen in a while. And with that, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.